In this video, I want to show you how to automatically exit positions before expiration. And so we're going to jump right into our Honey Badger bot here and one of our monitor automations for iron condors. We simply click the button here to go to the automation editor, and you'll notice that this particular automation is managing our iron condor positions that are entered in the bot. It's going to repeat through each position and start to make some decisions for each individual iron condor inside of the bot itself. Namely, it's going to start to check and see if the position premium has decreased 75% since it was opened. This would suggest that because we're selling premium and we're trading iron condors, that a 75% reduction in premium is a 75% profit, and if it does reach that threshold, it would simply close the position. But if you're building out your automations inside of Option Alpha, you may want to add some additional steps or additional decisions to manage positions like iron condors. In this case, what happens if it never gets to a potential profit? When do you close the position if it's never at a 75% profit? The way that this current manager is set up, it's going to go through each individual iron condor position and always check to see if you have a 75% profit. If you do, it would close the position, but what happens if you don't? So now we're going to start to set up some decisions down the no path, and the one that we're going to highlight here in this video is the ability to automatically exit your position at a certain days until expiration. So all we're going to simply do is ask the bot to make one more decision if it doesn't have a 75% profit. And that decision that we're going to ask the bot to go through is a simple recipe here to check and see how long the position still has left until expiration. In this case, we can just link up the existing position to the one that the iron condor position is pulling in from the repeater, and then we can edit any of these fields here. We can say that we want to see if the position expires in less than 3 days. If we're good to go with this one, we simply add that set of criteria to the decision action and then click Save. Notice that creates a new decision block and it branches the actions beneath it into additional yes and no paths. So let's walk through this. Every time that you have an iron condor position and you use this monitor automation, it's going to loop through every single iron condor in your account. First, check and see if you have a 75% profit. And if you do, simply close the position. But if you don't have a 75% profit, it's going to check and see if the position expires in less than 3 days. And this is where the magic of automation really can be shown, where now you can start to add the action to close the position if it expires in less than 3 days, essentially automatically closing the position once you get into the last couple of days of expiration. Now notice I left the no branch down here to just end. If the position doesn't expire in 3 days, I don't want it to do anything. I want it to keep the position open and still work the position, still checking for a profit every couple minutes as the automations and the monitors run, but I don't want it to close the position until it gets to 3 days from expiration. And so now we've added a very simple decision action inside of our automation here to check and see if the position is 3 days from expiration, and if it is, simply close the position. We can do this for other ones too. It's not just for this iron condor manager. We can go into any of the other ones we have, like this credit spread, which I deliberately deleted the other actions in here so I could re-add them in this video for you. And we can add those additional fields and make them a little bit more custom. Let's say for credit spreads, you want to remove credit spreads when you're 5 days from expiration. This is different from iron condors. And again, you probably want to trade a little bit different than some of the other strategies that you're using, where some you're more aggressive and others you're more conservative. Whatever the case, you can still do it here on Option Alpha inside of the automations. Now we're going to check and see if the position expires in less than 5 days for call credit spreads. And if it does, again, we'll still simply close the position at that point, but not before then. We're not going to close the position before then. And if we don't have a 25% profit, and if we're not 5 days from expiration, we simply let the automation end and recycle through and recheck everything again at the next interval, which is fine. That's exactly what bots and automations should do. They should do all of this heavy lifting and grunt work for you versus you having to go in and check for these levels yourself. So that's how you do it. That's how you add automatic exits to any of your monitor automations that you're running inside of your account at Option Alpha.